So Dribble is an amazing site where you'll find many creative works, among which there are many website designs you can find, right? So I was looking for some portfolio websites and I came across this. I don't know what caught my eye in this, but I think it's the simplicity. So actually, if I scroll all like towards the bottom until here, this is the footer, right? So what I'm thinking about is I'll help you create this. This is by a guy named Kazim Ahmed, if I'm pronouncing that name right. Okay, so I'll try to like recreate this entire thing using React.js, and I'll not make many cuts during this video so as to help you with understanding how I do my development, right? For instance, selecting the color, selecting the font, and many other things that might help some of y'all. So yeah, with that, let's get started. Inside VS Code, what I'll do is I'm already inside a folder. I'll just do one thing. I'll open the terminal and do npx create react app po rtf. Okay, so while that is happening, let's do one thing. Let's get all these colors, right? For instance, what I'll do is I'll use a actually let's do one thing here. I'll use a color picker on my system. I think this is it. Nope. Okay, so it was hiding all the way. I'll just make it smaller and do one thing. Just click here, basically RGB 249.219.75. So 249.219.75, right? So if I just search it, I'll get the hex value here. Okay, I have that. And then this is black. Okay, so this is also a different color. So if I just hover over here, 242, 239, 232. So I'll just duplicate it, and again 242, 239, 232. Kind of a yellow tint, but not exactly yellow nor white. Okay, so this is the hex value of it. Apart from that, let's make it full screen kind of. Okay, fine. Okay, this is even not full black, sorry. So it's kind of 34, 34, 34 RGB, right? So I'll just duplicate it again. It was fine, so it's hex 222, 222, right? And then we'll need this color, but not right now. So with that, and we'll need an avatar, and I hope this is complete. Okay, so while this is complete, we'll move on to portfolio website folder, clear out the screen and run our project. Okay, fine, it's compiling and it should be available on port 3000, right? So let's clear out our screen terminal and make it go away. Then what we'll do is inside the source folder, app.js. Actually we'll even need to install Tailwind. I'll be using Tailwind CSS, right? So what I'll do is I'll search for Tailwind CSS, getting started. So I'll click on framework guides because we are using create react app. I'll click here and it's telling me to create my project, cd to my project. We have already done it. Then comes installing of Tailwind CSS. So I'll open my terminal, actually a new terminal because my project is running. Go to the portfolio website folder and then run this command. While it's installing, I'll copy the init command. So basically this init command, what it will do is create a Tailwind configuration here. You'll see right here after I run this command, right? Say, it should come. So it contains everything, like if you want to extend the theme or something, right? With that, we'll have to add all the file type it should be looking for changes, right? Close it out and that should work fine. Actually we'll have to do this, save it, and okay. Then in the index.css here, we'll remove everything, paste here, save, and if we go back to our file, it should look weird kind of thing, right? Next it is asking us to start our project. We have already done it. So let's go to app.js file, remove everything inside here and type hello world. Let's save it and come back. Okay, so we can see some styling, I guess, here. If we inspect, let's move it to the right. Okay, so if we go to computed and we see text align center for some reason, is there some other CSS? Okay, we'll have to delete this app.css even, remove it, and it should be fine. Awesome. Now if I even make it, let's cut it out and make it h1. So by default h1 should have been larger, but in case, okay, so Tailwind is not working properly. Do I have to restart my app or something? It's compiling, give it a second. Okay, fine, now Tailwind has loaded. Awesome. So after you install Tailwind, you'll have to restart your project. For some reason it caches the whole thing and doesn't work properly, right? So with that out of the way, let's close this out. We don't need Tailwind now. Like we need it, we don't need that window open. Let's open it. The font, we'll use the default font for now. If we think, like if I think there should be a change, I'll change it, right? Okay, let's create the header section. So what I'll do is I'll create a new components folder and actually components, and within that I'll create a new header.js file. Actually let's make it JSX. So inside components I have a header.jsx file. What I'll do is export default function header and simply return inside a div header for now. And you won't see any change here because I have not linked it to app.js. So I'll move everything here and add header. See, it will auto import from the second option right here. So I'll close it out and you can see it has auto like imported kind of. We don't need the logo. Let's remove it and save. Here we should see header. Now inside the header file, let's close this out, it will kill us. Okay, so we are inside the header file, and next thing we need to do is add a bit of like logo kind of text and some menu buttons and a button actually, right? So we'll divide this into 3 sections. Name it, okay, first div is for the 3 divs, right? Containers basically. The first one is for logo, then menu buttons, then the actual call to action. So what I'll do is I'll write here logo, and here what I'll do is menu buttons, and this is basically call to action. For the logo, let's simply add a span and since our channel name is quick UI, I'll write Q U maybe, right? Or quick UI. Let's make it I. Doesn't look like a G or something. Okay, this is fine. So let's save it, and it should look weird. Okay, fine. And for the menu buttons, let's make it kind of dynamic, right? So add some navigation buttons here. Make it bigger, camel case navigation buttons, and this should be a list. Let's do one thing. There's two things here, the text and the actual link it takes to, right? So for every option we'll have a maybe text, and for now let's make it home. For the URL, for now we'll make every one of them as this. So copy this some more time, like actually 1 2 3 4 4 times. Okay, second option is services, portfolio, and then portfolios and testimonials. Okay, spelling T, yes, fine. So for the menu buttons, I'll simply use a map. For instance, this was the thing, right? So let's paste it here, and I'll map, and I'll have two things, menu item and index, and we'll simply return a div. Let's close this out, and within that div should be menu item dot text, and let's provide a key because it will be easier for React to check all the changes and only update what's necessary. Let's save it. Okay, we have all the options now, and then there is a button, call to action. So let's add that, and let's talk. There's a full stop here, period and period. Okay, now we'll have to make this a bit bolder, kind of. Actually, first, this is the parent div, right? We need everything in a single line. For what we'll need to do is make it flex and save. Okay, so everything is in single line, actually home, and then below that the menu buttons also, within that we need everything in a single line. So make that flex too. Awesome, looks weird. And next we'll like add gaps, right? So what I'll do is okay, fine. So what I'll do is I'll add some gap. So for that I'll do justify between, save it, and there are gaps between this. The same goes for here, justify between, or maybe not here. Let's add a gap of 8 or maybe 12 pixels here. Okay, looking good. And for the span, let's do one thing, make it a bigger text, a little bit more bigger. What do we have? 6. I think it's too big. Yeah, 4, better. And let's make it bold. So font bold. Okay, this is what we have. And one more thing, and as you can see, like everything is not in a single line. This is towards the bottom and this is like stuck to the top. So what we'll do is, for that we'll do item center, and everything is like in a single line. I think there's a margin or somewhere here, looking weird. Okay, no, that's fine. With that, okay, let's do one thing, click here and we can see everything properly. I clicked here, click on the flex. Fine. Let's design the button for now, and then we'll add a margin. What margin? This one. Okay, and this one, and this one, like we'll add it. For now, let's do one thing. Let's make this button properly. So maybe make the text a little bit bigger and add a background and padding, right? So I'll add a class name, make the text a little bit bigger. So Excel maybe. Nope. Okay, let's do one thing for now. Let's add a background, right? So since this is a custom color, what I'll do is I'll just copy the hex. Initially we did this. I'll add it within a square brackets and save. You can see it's looking properly here. I'll add a padding, maybe 2. But this is only for y. This is padding y. For padding x, I'll add some more, like make it 6. Make it 6. Save. Still less. Maybe let's make it 1 and then let's make it 2 only and make it 8. Better. To make the border border rounded kind of thing, like here, what we'll do is we'll use rounded full. Okay, fine. Make the text bold, font, or make it semi bold, right? Not bold, make it semi bold, better. Okay, and I think we are there. We'll have to make the background a little bit yellow tinted, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to the app.js, since the entire website will be having this, right, yellow kind of tint. So what I'll do is currently it's white. Okay, so what I'll do for the app class here, I'll mention background as this. Okay, and one more thing, since this is only taking up the height of the component, like it's set to fit content, what I'll do is I'll make the height as screen. Okay, and one more thing, overflow. Why make it scroll? Because anything after this it will not show. So now at least we'll have something like it will scroll properly. And we'll add a margin, maybe. No, let's add a padding, because if we add a margin then this won't work properly. Let's add a padding of around okay, we'll see. For padding x, that should be more. Let's make it 12 and see. Not bad. And padding of y, let's make it 4. Awesome. Let's move out of here. Something's still missing. Something's still like off. What is that? What is that? Or like it's fine. Anyways, so header is done. One more thing, like if I just click on this, it's not working. Like it's not a cursor even, it's asking me to select a text. So what I can do is in this div I'll add a class name, pointer cursor, right? Cursor pointer. Now what will happen is I can click on it, although nothing is happening right now. So I'll make what I'll do is I'll click here and make it a tag and save. Now for the href part, this should be menu item dot url, right? So now what I'll do is I'll make it home services portfolio portfolio. Okay, testimonials, testimonials. Let's save and see. Home, services, portfolio and testimonial. So actually we're going to different pages, right? Okay, fine. So that is happening properly. Next, what needs to be done is this kind of a section. So we'll need an image. Let's close this out. We'll be needing this. Anyways, I'll go to Unsplash, search for photos avatar, and I get many images. Let's use this one. What I'll do is I'll click on download free, and this should download properly. Awesome. Next I'll go to download section, click, okay, not this one, this image. I'll click on it, come here and paste in the publics directory. I'll name it to user avatar avatar and close this out. Next section will name it basically hero section. For that I'll add a new file here in the components, hero.jsx, and again same thing, export default function hero, maybe return this now, a simple div with the text hero, right? And in the app.jsx folder, app.js file actually just below the header, let's add hero. It will auto import after I click it, fine, just a word hero, right? Now there are two sections to it, the left section and the right section. The right section only has an image, and the image we have just downloaded, right? So what I'll do is I'll go along with it, close out the header section, we don't need that right now. We need a div for left section and we need a div for the right image section. Let's add an image tag for the srcs. Since it's in public, we can simply do like copy this out, paste it here and see what we get. Weird, very weird. Okay, anyways, so for the left section and for the right section we have the image, right? Now for the left section, as you can see, there is one section for the actual title and then kind of a subtitle and then buttons, right? So that is what we are going to do. For the title we'll be using h1, and within that I'll just write this down just to give credit to this guy, and everything is in camel case. Hey, can't I copy this? Nope. Or okay, I've used lorem ipsum, like filled in a random text. I'll click on view and click on word wrap. Let's save it out, and yeah, for now let's keep that. I'll make it short actually until here, or maybe, yeah, that's fine. And as you can see, there are even smaller words like small case, lower case actually, correct word, but we can convert that using Tailwind directly. Anyways, like just beneath that, let's add a div for this kind of design. Now as you can see, these icons, or maybe the different one used here also. So what we'll do is we'll use React icons, right? So it gives all the icons you need in the world. So what I'll search for, actually we'll need to install it first, fine. So React icons, maybe let's search for instllATM, simple npm command. So I just searched for that, clicked on it, still opening. So it's asking me to run npm React icons. Click on it to copy. Okay, for some reason it's not. So I'll click Command C and Control C on Windows. Let's go back to our project, open terminal, go here. Let's run this npm React icons. I'm inside my project folder, right? Project directory. So after it's installed, hide the terminal, and let's go back to, not here, sorry. Go back, React icons, and search for star. Let's shoot for the stars. Star. We should have found some. STAR Let's not start stars. Yeah, okay. So this one looks fine to me. So to use it, just copy this out. Actually, first let's copy this out. And we have to use it here, right? So go to the top, we'll import, like write it, icons. Okay, and do this, and to use it, we'll simply use this component kind of thing, right? So here these are, maybe, what can we name it? Taglines, or yeah, let's keep it that. So for the first one, let's use a div again, and within a div, what I'll do is I'll paste this in, I'll use a span, close it out, and I'll use designer, designer, designer. Let's do copy paste designer, Figma, and developer, Figma, and develop, I missed the P, developer, right? So after that's done, click on save. We should see something weird happening here. Okay, now, okay, let's add these two buttons for now, right? Or maybe not the buttons, like just below it, add a new div, add a comment, buttons, and add a button one, like button one, and copy paste button two, just like template kind of thing for now. Okay, does not look good at all. Now what we'll need to do is, acha, for one more thing, for all the underlying thing, I'll help you out at the end, because there's a little tweak to get this done. Fine. So what we'll do is, here is, first of all, make this thing, the left section and the right section, in single line, and for that, what do? We make it a flex, save. Okay, now let's give it a fixed width and height, so that it does not take up everything we have. So width, make it how much? Let's give it 320. Sorry, I think it was 80. Yeah, width 80, my height 80, and let's save it. Okay, object fill contain, and okay, fine. Now rounded, let's make it rounded full. Weird. Just give it height 80 maybe, and see. Nope, width 80. Okay, fine. So now this is like circular. Next thing we need to do is like style it. We'll add some like margin here, but not now. Let's style the above thing, so everything should be like one below the other apart from this, right? So first off, inside it, both are in a separate line. So again, make it flex, or better, I think what you can do is yeah, let's do that. Save. Okay, and since you can see like both are not aligned properly horizontally, what we'll do is item center. Let's save it. Better. Now for this, what we'll do is color, and we'll provide it with this color, which was F9DB45 something. Let's click on here. Okay, I want the hex color, right? So it's F9DB4B, or we can simply go to header section, and in the buttons we can simply copy from here. That will be better, I guess. Okay, fine. So You can see the color here does not look good for some reason, all it's same. Anyway, we'll go with it. So do the same thing for this one. Let's copy it out actually and paste it for both. Right, save it, and we have everything here also. Basically I just pasted it, right, using multiple cursors in VS Code. Anyways, now for this, let's design the heading. Add a class name, and I think it's uppercase. Yeah, everything is uppercase now. Awesome. Next, we'll give it a maximum width constraint maybe, so that, or maybe let's make it a bit bigger. Text, it's bigger than this, right? And this was 4 XL, so we'll have to make it a lot bigger than that. God, let's make it 8 XL and see what we have. Nope, don't want that. Let's make it 6. Actually, it does not look bad. Okay, let's make it 6 and see. Still a bit bigger, I guess. Let's make it 5 and see. Okay, better. Now I think we'll need to even add, let's add actually the exact text. Okay, so let's save it out and see. Looks weird for some reason. Why? Let's make it hey first, and let's make it 4 again. Make it bold, or make it semi bold. We're going somewhere now. Good. Let's add max width of 500 something pixels. Better, so this won't exceed it, right? Let's add a margin at the top. Now it's like it has started to look weird. So margin top, let's give it 8 or maybe more. You might hear my dog in the background, so yeah, bear with me. Designer Figma. Okay, so the next thing is we want all these things in a single line. Let's make it flex and add a little bit of gap. 4 maybe. That works fine. Do we want to style this? Yes. Let's make the text a little bit bigger. So either we could have done it individually, but I didn't want to do it. So what I'll do is I'll simply go from here. So base, let's make it large. Better. And for the font, instead of normal, make it medium. Okay. Now we have 2 buttons. One more thing you might say is it's not centered properly, right? So again, in this flex, what we want to do is we want to do item center. Now everything is in center, but in the left div we want to add a gap. So maybe add a gap of 12, or let's make it 24 and see. Didn't work because we have to make it flex, but flex this time it should be flex column specifically, right? Okay, so 24 is too much. Let's make it 12 and see. What do you think? Still too much. 8. Better. Let's design the button. Actually, I'll just go to the header section and copy one of it. Like, what I could have done is created a new component, but that is not the point of this video, at least until now. So what I'll do is paste here and see. Let's talk works fine. And then there is one more. Want to talk? Sure, why not? Want to discuss actually. Right, let's save it. We'll need to make it flex and add a gap maybe of 4. And here we don't want a background color, actually background here, let's make it transparent. We could have ignored it, but anyways, let's save it and come here. We need to add a border. Now border, let's make it 2 pixels. Save. We want to make it of this color, so let's copy the hex and paste it in. Let's go back and see, does it look the way we want it to? Kind of, yeah. Right, so what do we have right now? We have the header, we have the hero section, right? We need this banner kind of thing. It should be scrolling, but we'll come to that later. Right now let's just create a banner thingy here, right? So new file, banner.jsx, export default function. Now you can do it, right? banner banner, return, add a div for now and just return the text banner, not the Hulk wala banner, just a normal banner. It is auto imported here, and let's save it out. You should see the text banner here. Okay, now here is where the problem comes. Since we have added padding to the whole app thing, the whole web app, we are going to have a very hard time trying to like make it to the extreme border. So what we'll do right now, actually let me show you if we do it normally. Right, so let's add a sample text right now, single line text, and for the class name, for the background, let's paste that in and see. Okay, and let's make the text white. Text white, fine. Here is the problem. You see, we have padding here also. So what we are going to do is, we'll come back to app.js and remove the padding from here, save it, and add it individually. For instance, inside the header, where is it? Header, inside the parent, like the root div, we'll add it, save. The same goes for hero section, save. No, it's fine. Okay, now let's make this now. Actually, where is the banner? Here. Now let's change the banner text. It is something like right here. Okay, so we'll go back to the hero section, copy different divs. Actually start copying from here, the div containing all these three things, right? Copy it out, go to banner, add it here, flex gap and text large in font medium, and copy this once. We paste it here, and let's see, like paste it multiple times and let's see what we get. Okay, this so ri star fill is the icon and we have not imported it. So let's copy and go to the top and paste it in and save. Okay, I guess, but not looking better. Let's add a padding first, right? So we'll add a padding y, like in the y direction. Fine, so we'll add it in the y direction. Let's add maybe 8, better, and in the x direction maybe 4. Let's give it a try. Better. Now we have different options. We need to make everything like uppercase, So after font medium, let's add it here itself, uppercase. Now everything should be uppercase. Fine, awesome. Let's add a bit of more gap here, like after this flex gap 4. Fine, fine, and here we want gap to be, let's say 6, and here let's make it 3, just half of it. Do we need to add more gaps? No, it's fine. Actually there is a symmetric kind of thing, so what we can do is maybe here make it 4 and here also make it 4, so it's kind of in the middle of everything, right? Okay, so let's add UI UX development and stuff. Turn on, or maybe let's do one thing, hide the thing in the left. UI UX, actually we don't even need to write like all uppercase here. Let's write it properly. UI UX, after that development, product design, development design, then social media design, media design, and developer. Let's save it and see if it overflows. Nope. And null, just for fun. Okay, so this is what we have, and what we'll do is, since you can see that it's breaking, like it's going to second line after everything, like when the screen is small, what I'll do is, there is a class named as no break, if I'm not wrong. Okay, here it comes. Tailwind CSS. Word break, right? So we'll use break keep. So what happens is, even if there is space and stuff, it won't break anything, right? So break keep won't work. Break normal. So what we'll do is, since it's breaking here, right, during spaces, so what we'll do is, instead of spaces, we'll add a non-breaking space. So what will happen is, you can see product design, now it's taking up everything, right? So, and it's even overflowing. So what we can do is, for overflow in the X direction, we'll simply add overflow X scroll, and now what happens is this, right? So it's responsive. Actually the banner is responsive for now. Let's keep it at here and see. Although that should auto scroll, we'll handle that. For now, this is done. Let's add a margin bottom even, or maybe here let's add a margin top. For the hero section we added 12, right? So here let's add 12 too. Finally we have this. So this is done. Next what we'll do is, we'll add services. So I think it's very simple now. Okay, so there is a text kind of heading, subheading, and then there are some options, and then there is a button, right? So what we'll do is, this services, okay, let's create it from scratch. Open this out. We'll create a new component name, SCRVI services.jsx, and export default function services, return, so just return services for now. Link that in, auto imported, save, come here, you should see services, right? First things first, inside the services, like everywhere we have added padding, right? So we'll do that. Add a class name, add this padding thingy, save, and it should take this padding. Okay, looks fine. Now let's add a heading, subheading, and then some options. So cut it out. Let's add h2 here, services, h3, add a period, right? Here are the services we are providing to you. Here are the services we are providing to you, and then a period. Let's save it out and see what we have. Looks weird, very bad. Then there can be a div that contains services list, or maybe list of services, right? This, and then there is a button. For the button, we can simply copy that from the hero section. Let's copy it and paste it. View all, save, and let's see what we have. Okay, not bad, not bad. Now for the services, again, we want to make it dynamic, don't want to hard code everything. So what I'll do is I'll create a new variable, services, and make it a list or array, whatever. There are two things here, icon, and for now I'll again use React icons. So let's search for menu, and let's use it for now, right, for templates, and we can change that later. Not an important thing to consider at the current moment. And to use it after we have imported, we can simply do it like this. Okay, so back to our site. Apart from icon, we have one more thing, that is a text, or maybe let's make it title or text to keep it consistent. Okay, UI UX. DESIGNING, right? So what we'll do is copy it 5 more times. Actually 1 2 3 4 5 6, we have added one more extra, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? For now what we'll do is I'll just map it out, services.map service and index, right? And I'll return a div, should auto close. Okay, I have not returned it, right? So let's add a bit of formatting so it looks better. Okay, fine. So what I'll do is we need to add two things here. The first one is the icon. Now how do we add the icon? It's in service.icon, and after that there is a text, right? So for the text, it's in service.text. Let's save it out and see. Okay, this is it. Okay, let me hide my camera. Fine. So this is it. Now what I'll do is I'll just simply try to let's make the services better now, like the text here, right? Again, for the underline part, we'll handle that at the last, most probably. We'll see how it goes. So let's add a class name, make the text bigger, maybe 4XL, save and see. Font semi-bold, better. We'll align everything in the center, text center, everything is in the center. We don't want that, remove it. We just want this to be in the center, text center. Awesome. For this part also, we'll make it text a little bit bigger, I guess. let's make it just Excel and see how it goes. Okay, font not semi bold, let's make it medium, and again text center, better again. And then below that is a grid, so this div should actually be a grid, and grid column. There are 3 columns actually. How? Column 1, column 2, column 3. So I'll just save that out and show you. You can see it has already like come out properly, kind of, right? And within the internal div, it's in a different line, the icon and the thing, right? So to make it in the same line, we'll make it flex, save, align it properly, item center. Okay, let's add a gap of maybe 4, save. Oh, that's way too low, but anyways, we'll do that. One more thing, for the icons, what we'll do is, let's make the text bigger, right? Text, how much bigger? Actually, it should be slightly bigger than this. It should be slightly bigger than this. So for that, what we'll do is, let's make the text a little bit bigger than this one. So it was Excel, let's make it 2XL and see. I think it's okay, but not that okay. For the icon, actually was the gap like fine. So what I'll do is, we even have to have a little bit of background color to it, but what actual color? So for that, I'll again use color picker, right? It's 217 okay, right? So what I'll do is I'll simply search here, and see, get the hex value of it. Fine, just experimenting. So for the background color, let's paste that in and save. Let's add a gap here of 4. Okay, we'll even need to add a padding of maybe 8 at least. Looks very bad, very bad. So make it 4. Let's go back to the UI and see. Okay, let's take it down to, actually I think the UI is good. There is a problem with the way we are rendering, right? So again, let's make it non-breaking space in VSP, and the same goes here, and it's not rendering properly. Why? Let's add a backslash and see. Okay, since we are rendering that out, it's not working here. What other choice do we have? Can we okay, so one thing, let's make the text a little bit smaller, and okay, I think that is looking better. Add a little bit of font weight. Okay, better. For the rounded, we'll add a little bit of roundness to it, make it medium maybe. Better, add a margin top to this, margin top 4. Okay, and again this button, for this button what I'll do is I'll put it inside a div, paste it in, and add a margin top of 4, save, and actually first I'll make it margin auto, and then or better yet, I'll text align it to center, right? So does it look somewhat similar to it? Okay, so let's add a bit of more margin here and here. Let's make it 8 and see. And 12. Okay, we're somewhere there. If I make it a bit bigger, fine. So we'll add a responsiveness later. Next we have portfolios section and testimonials, and then the footer. So for portfolios, what we'll do is simply like make a copy of the services thing, rename it to portfolios, and even here, because it's a lot similar, portfolios, right? It's a lot similar. We just have to change the designing a bit, right? So for portfolios we have icon. Actually we'll have to make this text, let's make it smaller. Instead of services, make it portfolios, and instead of the subtext, click on the cards to see my portfolios. Let's like turn on word wrapping. Category, let's save and see what we have. Okay, we'll have to link that up to app, right? After services, portfolios, save that. Okay, looks weird for some reason. Let's go to services and add a margin top of maybe for hero section we added 12, right? So maybe let's add margin bottom of 12 and even margin top of 12. Okay, so now for portfolios we'll even have to add margin bottom of 12 for now. And yeah, so below that we don't have any button in here, so we'll just simply delete it, right? And we'll design the card accordingly. So here name it portfolios and change it here portfolio. So instead of service, let's make it portfolio and save. It should work fine, I guess. Yeah, so there is an icon, then a title and the text, right? Icon, title. What we'll do is, can we copy this? Nope, we cannot. So instead of, what I'll do is simply delete all the others for now. Let's make it title, and for the text for now, I'll make it lorem ipsum, add quotations, fine. I'll make multiple copies of it, or maybe change the icon to, let's search Figma and see if we can find anything. Okay, so we'll use the Figma icon here instead of this one, so we won't be needing this. To use it, we'll simply do this, right? So save it out, and actually let's make multiple copies, actually a total of 3 if I'm not wrong. Okay, 6. Okay, make it 5 because the last one is a bit different, right? 1, a total of 5. If we go back here, okay, for some reason you're not seeing the icon. Interesting. For Figma font awesome. We should have been like, we should be able to see the Figma. If I make this title, can we see that? Yes. So it's actually overflowing, right? So instead of flex row, let's make it flex column, and yeah, above this text we'll simply copy paste and add a title. Okay, so title is like everything is left aligned, right? But for some reason here it's center aligned. So what we'll do is text left, still did not work. Okay, let's even put that in span tag and see. Okay, I think that was a mistake. Fine. So still in the center. Why? Okay, due to this we made item center, right? So this is better. We'll have to change the icon size, so I'll make it everywhere. There are better ways to do it, but again that will have to, there's a different part to it. Let's make the size as maybe 3XL and see if it works. Works as expected, right? For the title, let's make it text 3XL only. It's way too big, I guess, way too big. Let's make it 2XL and see. Okay, add a bit of margin top maybe 6, or let's not add margin, let's add gap, let's make it 6. Okay, better. And for the text, actually let's make it a little bit light. And how do we do that? For font, let's make it light and see. We are there, not exactly, but we are there. And we have to remove the background, and instead of that, let's make it border to border. And for the color, we have already used it somewhere. Where have we used it? Here in the hero section, the second button, actually the first button. This is the color, and let's see. Okay, actually looks better, right? So we even have the portfolios, like the last component is missing, this one. So what I'll simply do is I'll copy this out. Just after this I'll paste and maybe add a little bit of comment. Let's talk component. Maybe align it properly, and instead of the icon, what I can simply do is copy one. Okay, we don't need the icon, remove it. For the text, let's make it want your stunning designs. Did it start with the capital? Yeah. And again, add some random text here. Let's see. Text is too much. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll make it justify center. So what that will do is, since it's column, it will justify vertically in the center, right? Justify center this way, and then there is a button, I guess, right, for let's talk. So from the hero section, copy the first, like second button, go to portfolios, yeah, and after this, let's add a button and let's save and see. So it's not exactly black, it's save, and the text is white. Not actually white. Okay, it's let's not make that bold. I think it's bold. Better. Okay, fine. So we have the UI up until here, and then there comes the testimonials, and then this thing. So for the testimonials, what we can again do is copy the services thing and paste and make it testimonials. Testimonials. Don't want to keep on writing that, so I'll copy it out, paste, and remove everything for now. Make it testimonials, and here are some testimonials for our client. Here are some testimonials for our clients. Let's make it clients. Okay. I'll have to link that up to app, so we might see it here. Fine. Looks very weird. Anyways, so basically there is a quotation symbol, and we'll not even add the quotation symbol for now. We'll simply go with normal text, like we'll add normal text for now, and we'll let's search for avatar. Okay, user, better, at least we have something. Let's use this up, right? Testimonials, remove it. We don't need the icon, just a bit of this and that, and it should work. So let's add a span, and let's use this icon, right? To use it, we'll simply select, copy, paste, and go. Okay, but not this way this time, right? So what we'll do is remove flex and remove gap and everything from here, and see how it comes around. Okay, so this icon, make it very big, maybe 6XL, and see, I think make it 8. Okay, right, and make it center. Didn't work, did not work. Let's do one thing. Let's make this text center and see. Okay, if I make this width full, does this work? Or maybe margin auto, I think that should work. Nope. Why? Let's see. So this is the SVG span, and within this span, actually this should work, right? Let's do one thing, margin auto. I think everything is in the center, right? So let's do one thing, like remove this out, and text Excel. Let's just make text center and see if it works properly here. This is not in the center yet, some reason. Okay, make it flex, this time it should work. Justify center, fine. Now we'll have to do one thing. To position, like overflow it, we'll do margin top, actually negative margin top. Let's try with -6. Okay, it's working, we are going somewhere. -32, it's way too up. Let's go with 16. I think we're somewhere there. Okay, fine. Now to add this kind of effect, this white kind of effect thing, what we'll do is we'll add a border. How? Like this. So border 2, border transparent, or maybe white actually. Weird. Let's make it a rounded full and see. Okay, we have it. So if I zoom in, let's make the border a little bit wider. Border 8 maybe. Okay, it's too much. We'll have to refresh now. It's too much. Let's make it 4 and see. Better. I'll reset this now. Fine. So below that, instead of this thing, what we can have is maybe from and text. So from and anonymous, and text can be anything but not so big. Something around here should work. So okay, so let's make this text smaller. To do that, text, let's make it small, and there's something known as line height, I guess. Okay, so let's try to minimize it, and I couldn't do it tight. It's not working. I think better yet, let's make the font size a little bit bigger. Okay, fine. So next what we have to do is maybe copy and paste and remove this part, and text dot from make it flex column and see what happens. No problem. Let's add margin top of 8 and see, or maybe add a gap of 8. I think that should be better. Okay, and make it a little bit more rounded. Make it large instead of medium. There's something missing, and so instead of anonymous like that, let's make it like this. And apart from this, there are 3 different testimonials. Let's paste that in and see. Fine, add a bit of margin top. For some reason it's not working because we have added that. Let's make it 24. Okay, fine. So there is no view wall kind of button here, so remove that out, save, let's see, fine. And then finally the footer section. So we'll add a new file, footer.jsx, write that down, export default function footer. For now we'll simply return what, or div that says footer. Now in the app.jsx, let's link that up, save it out, and we should see here footer, right? So again, it's going to take up the whole width, just like the banner thing. So what I'll do is simply copy, actually I just copy this thing here, just the background actually, and the margin and the text, nothing else, I promise. So for now let's make it this. So I've added a margin in the background and the text, right, like this. Now you can see here somewhat similar to here, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to the header section, go to this thing span and just copy it out and go to footer, and there are how many sections to the footer? Let's see, 2 actually, the left and the right. Okay, so I'll add that. Actually I won't even add it. For the left it's simply a span, right? I'll have to make it a little bit bigger even. Let's make it 6 and see, 8. It's way too big, I guess. No, fine, that's fine. For the right section I'll add a div, and I'll add a comment, socials, right? Below that there are 4 icons. Again, for icons I think we should find that here, Google. Okay, let's copy it, go up, write a comment, icons, this for Google. Again, don't want to hard code it, const social socials is equals to, it's an array, and icon is this. Apart from icon we have here some text, maybe make it text for now, although okay, https:// google dot plus maybe dot com, okay, and make 3 more copies of it, 1 more copy, right? So we have 4 copies. Now what we'll do is simply try to use it using map, like render it out, social and index, return, and I'll return a div in each case, right? With an icon in a span, so span, and within that I'll have icon, and then another span, and within that social.text, right? Let's see, it should look weird as expected. So first thing first, let's make it flex and justify between, I guess, and item center, I think so, yeah, item center, because vertically even it's should be in the center, right? it should be justify, not between, justify center, I guess. Okay, let's add a bit of gap, maybe not a bit, let's add a lot actually. Save 32, and for this part we'll have to make it grid column. It should be 2, right? This way. For this part, let's make it flex. Save. Let's center it. Fine. Let's add a gap of maybe 4. And here in the grid, let's add a gap of 8. Okay, I think it's too much. No, that's fine. So for the span, we want to add a white background. So white. Okay, and for the color of the icon, let's make it this, right? And even let's make the text a little bit bigger. 3XL. No, let's make it XL. Okay, let's add a padding of 2, I guess. 2 is fine, and make it rounded full to add this effect. Okay, one more thing, we need to add a padding inside the whole thing, right? Margin top, let's add padding of 12. I think it's looking okay. Right, so with that, this is over. Most of it is over. If you all want to know about this and other stuff, or maybe if you want to get access to the code, just let me know and I'll send you. Maybe join my Discord group and I can send it like directly there. Thank you.